Hello there. Nice to be back with you with my Neuro Management video presentation. Last time, if you remember, we had talked about, I had introduced to you the orchestration principle of communication, where I have developed a formula KPSL. And KPSL is an interesting formula which combines the verbal or B mode with the non-verbal mode, NV mode. I told you that this is the orchestration. If you use only the verbal mode, the language, then what happens? The neurons, the circuits which are already there in your brain, which have developed over millions of years with the habits when we evolved from primates, apes into humans, those will be slowly destroyed due to lack of use. We should not permit that. Common people do not know these things. So first we will take up K. K is kinesics. Kinesics includes the postures, the gestures, in other words, body movements. Postures are the whole body movements and gestures are the movements of body parts. So we'll first take up posture and we'll take up standing and sitting postures. Look at this model of the human skeleton, our spine. Look at the spine. Spine has a natural curvature. If you look at the spine from the side, it is an S-like curvature. Now spine has a design defect. You must say, sir, design defect? Yes, because we have evolved over the years from four-legged animals into two-legged animals. Why four? We also don't have the tail. Tail also has bony pieces, so some of the animals used to support their body on 5 limbs, the 4 limbs and the tail, while sitting, standing or jumping from one branch of the tree to another. Now suddenly the environment changed, the climates changed, the food habits changed, and we became bipedal. We started moving on 2 legs, hands became free for other purposes, tool using, tool making, etc. So spine has a design defect, and slowly if we do not use the spine consciously, aging will make you stoop. So there are some people who are overweight or who have a weak spine. They have the problem of leaning on something, or they cannot just stand erect. So my recommendation is you consciously develop the habit of standing erect, like I will show you now. When you stand, you be conscious, and if you are conscious for about 2 to 3 months, this new habit will come to you automatically. When you stand, you develop the habit of standing like this. And when you start talking, you start using the hands. You release the hands from the interlocked posture and use the hands to use the non-verbal mode with your verbal mode, like I am doing. Never stand with your hands at the back, because this is a sign of hiding something, or you are afraid of something. You are suffering from nervousness, you are suffering from anxiety. Similarly, if you hide your fingers under the armpits, this is a sign of you are avoiding some disclosure. That means the other person, maybe you are in an interview session, the interviewer has asked you some kind of question and you do not want to give the correct answer, the true answer. Like for instance, the interviewer says, we are now posting you in Calcutta head office. Maybe after 6 months we'll transfer to Mumbai. And you have some family problem, you cannot go to Mumbai, so you do not want to answer truly. Similarly, don't lean on something, like leaning on a chair or leaning on a furniture. So these have got to be consciously developed habits. Similarly, when you sit, you develop the habit of sitting with your spine erect as long as possible, and you interlock your fingers. You may say, why doctor? Now we are enveloped by an energy field. Yes, we are a combination of body powers, brain powers and soul powers. Soul is the energy, right? And a lot of research is going on in this, and cameras have already been made in Russia by Dr. and Mrs. Kirlian, which can take the picture of this aura or energy field called the Kirlian cameras. And the maximum radiation leakage, energy leakage, takes place from your palms and fingertips, as well as from your soles of the feet and toes. So you have to conserve your own energy by sitting in the closed circuit posture. This is some kind of we call it Erga Yoga. This is a modern type of yoga which I have developed. Erga means while working. So while working in your office or going for a meeting, going for a sales presentation or going for an interview, you are in the working mode. You have to practice this Erga Yoga. You have to remember that your energy is very precious. You have to conserve it. So while you are using a chair with armrest, don't keep your arms on the armrest, because then you are giving your precious energy to the furniture for nothing. You're yourself losing and wasting your energy. Now, I had told you that on top of our brain, in the cortex, which is called neocortex, maximum area has been allocated to the movable parts of the body for hands and fingers. For the right side on the left side of the brain, for the left side limbs on the right side of the brain. So gestures means movement of body parts. The most important gestures are related to the hands and fingers. There are certain aggressive signals which you must consciously avoid, but these come to us very unconsciously. Which are these aggressive signals? First is the baton signal. I am warning you, you should not have done this. Next time I teach you a lesson. Chopping signal. It implies I hate you. I want to kill you. I want to put an end to your life. Thumping signal, very aggressive, right? Now, ladies normally are using milder signals. So a lady who wants to have a little argumentation with you will use cutting signals. Then you may say, sir, what kind of signals we should use? You should use very gracious movements. Like when I ask you, what is your name? Sir, my name is Sanjeev Badua. Right? It should not be as if you're dancing. You have to differentiate between dancing movements and your graceful talking movements, communication movements. And remember, don't hide your hands and fingers at the back, which I mentioned to you. This is a sign of anxiety. Now, whenever you're using a very aggressive signal or very anxiety-prone nervous signal, there are negative chemicals, negative electricity which are produced in the areas of your brain or the neuronal clusters of your brain, which will destroy your brain. You are under stress. So if you are in the habit of such hand movements, such gestures, automatically you will suffer in some way or the other. And ordinary doctors may not be able to diagnose what is wrong with you. Thank you very much. Next time we'll talk more about the gestures and we'll talk about the eye movements, which are equally important.